going to skip down from 27 to Genesis 28 and 13. And this is the Lord talking to Jacob when he was going into Padan Aram, unto Laban, the son of Bethuel the Syrian, the brother of Rebekah. So the brother of his mother, to find a wife of his own kindred. This is Genesis 28 and 13. And behold, the Lord stood up, and behold, and he was asleep. And he dreamed, this is Genesis 28 and 12. And he dreamed, and behold, a ladder set upon the earth, and the top of it reached to heaven. And behold, the angels of God ascending and descending on it. And behold, the Lord stood above it and said, I am the Lord, God of Abraham thy father, and the God of Isaac. The land wherein thou liest, to thee will I give it, and to thy seed. And thy seed shall be as the dust of the earth, and thou shalt spread abroad to the west, and to the east, and to the north, and to the south. And in thee, so in Jacob, in thee and in thy seed shall all families of the earth be blessed. So he said, in you and in your seed after you, which is the 12 tribes of Jacob, shall they be blessed. Jump to Exodus. Exodus 3 and 6. This is when Moses had left Egypt, and he seen the Lord in a bush, in a fiery bush. Moreover, this is the Lord talking to Moses. Moreover, he said, I am the God of thy father, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. And Moses hid his face, for he was afraid to look upon God. So the Lord said, I am the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. Not the God of everybody, the God of Jacob and Abraham and Isaac. And in this same chapter 3 and verse 15, and God said moreover unto Moses, thus shalt thou say unto the children of Israel, the Lord God of your fathers, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob, has sent me unto you. This is my name forever. It don't say that this is his name for just until you all disobey the commandments, until I cast you out of my sight, until I send my son down to save everybody in the world. He doesn't say I'm just the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob until I tell my son to go to the other nations and to speak unto the Gentile and heathen nations. He says, forever. This is my name forever, and this is my memorial unto all generations. So his name forever is the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. Forever. This is Deuteronomy 30 and verse 20. This is when they came. This is when God brought them through the Red Sea, out of the land of Egypt, through the Red Sea, and to Mount Sinai to judge them, or to try them. And it was when they received the commandments. So the Lord is talking to Moses, and then Moses is telling the children of Israel. So it's not Moses telling the Edomites, telling the Japanese, the Chinese. This is Moses, or the Lord, telling the children of Israel. These commandments, this Deuteronomy was not talking to any other nation, but to the children of Israel. This is Deuteronomy 30 and 20. That thou mayest love the Lord thy God, thy possessive. That thou mayest love the Lord thy God, and that thou mayest obey his voice, and that thou mayest cleave unto him, for he is thy life, and the length of thy days, and thou mayest dwell in the land which the Lord sware unto thy fathers, to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob, to give them. So he said, I am the Lord which swore unto your fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, that I would give you this land. It's Matthew and the Wacky Dad Christians' beloved New Testament. Slaki. (22) and 31. Come. This is Yahweh speaking, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. But as touching the resurrection of the dead, have ye not read that which was spoken unto you by God, saying, I am the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob? God is not the God of the dead, but of the living. If you have ears to hear. Even Yahweh Shai, or Jesus, says that he's the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. So even Yahweh Shai knows. Everybody knows, but you 2/3 Jakes. Well, the 1/3 knows, but 2/3 Jakes. Now I should have said it. This is Acts 3 and 13. The God of Abraham, the God of Abraham, I don't know what I was doing. Acts 3 and 13, the God of Abraham and of Isaac and of Jacob, the God of our fathers, has glorified his son, Yahweh Shai, or Jesus, has glorified his son Jesus, whom ye delivered up and denied him in the presence of Pilate, when he was determined to let him go. So even the apostles knew that he was the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. And through them shall the seed be blessed. Come. This is back in Deuteronomy 7 and 6. For thou art holy people unto the Lord thy God, and the Lord thy God has chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all nations that are upon the face of the earth. The Lord did not set his love upon you, nor choose you, because ye were more in number than any people, for ye were the fewest of all people. But because the Lord loved you, and because he would keep the oath which he had sworn unto your fathers, hath the Lord brought you out with a mighty hand, and redeemed you out of the house of bondmen, from the hand of Pharaoh king of Egypt. If you have ears to hear. So he said that he loves the children of Israel because of the oath he has sworn to our fathers, the so-called Black, Hispanic, Native Americans. Not the Jewish people over in Israel now, but the Israelites who have been scattered to the four corners of the earth. He loves us because of the because of the oath he has sworn, because of the covenant, an everlasting covenant. That's for us, so-called Black, Hispanics, Native Americans. It's not for everybody. It's not for the Edomites, not for the Chinese, the Japanese, the Arabians. If your father goes back from Latino, Negro, or Native American, you're an Israelite, and He's the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. And He's only known us, and He only will ever know us. And I hope this lesson was edifying to you, Akim and few Agwaf, who may be listening. I'd like to give all double honors to the elder Apostle Great Millstone, who ruled well and who taught us truth again. And I'd like to say, Ka Hala Yahweh, Bahashem Yahshua, Bahashem Rakadat Das, Shalom.